Hi, my name is Alyssa Gonzales, and I'm a senior at San Diego State University studying computer science. Today, I'll be talking about artificial intelligence and how it can be utilized to combat climate change. Here's an overview of the topics for discussion today. I'll first be going into what artificial intelligence is, some of the use cases and algorithms behind it. Then I will talk about climate change and some of the issues surrounding it. Then I will be discussing how artificial intelligence can be used to solve some of these climate change problems. And lastly, I'll wrap up the discussion by talking about what has been accomplished and what there is left to be done. To start off, I'll be giving a brief technical overview and list of current applications of AI. Artificial intelligence is any human-like intelligence exhibited by a computer, robot, or any other machine. Essentially, it has the capability to understand language, make decisions, and problem solve. Within artificial intelligence, there are two types of models: machine learning and deep learning. Machine learning uses algorithms to parse data, learn from that data, and make informed decisions based on what it has learned. Deep learning structure algorithms in layers to create an artificial neural network that can learn and make intelligent decisions on its own. There are many different types of AI algorithms used. The three main types are classification algorithms, regression algorithms, and clustering algorithms. The classification algorithm is useful for predicting whether an input belongs to a class or not. A common use case of this is spam detection, where emails are analyzed to see how well they fit the characteristics of what a spam email consists of. The regression algorithm can predict the output values based on input data points fed into the learning system. A common use case of this would be weather tracking. Weather tracking algorithms use data from many scientific sources to then predict upcoming weather patterns. And lastly, clustering algorithms. This is the process of segregating and organizing data points into groups based on similarities within members of their groups. A common use case of this is a recommendation system. Netflix is a popular application of the recommendation system, as once our show finishes, it generates a list of recommendations that closely align with what you had just finished watching. Here are a couple different examples of real-world applications of artificial intelligence. The first application that we see often is speech recognition. We see this on our mobile devices with speech-to-text functionality, and we also see this with closed captioning functionality on popular platforms such as Zoom. Another example is natural language processing. This can be found in Apple's Siri or Amazon's Alexa. What this does essentially is take in user input like speech or text, then analyzes this input and produces a logical response back. Not only does this model house decision-making capabilities, but it also has the ability to learn your habits. Next is image recognition, which is most commonly noticed in Apple's Face ID. This artificial intelligence application has the ability to take an image and process whether that image is acceptable or not. We also see artificial intelligence models used in virus and spam detection like I discussed in the previous slide. It's also being used in rideshare services like Uber and Lyft, where these applications use AI models to match drivers with their riders, but also for route optimization. And lastly, autopilot technology used in vehicles like Tesla. These types of applications use artificial intelligence for object detection, collision avoidance, and all other common characteristics of self-driving. Now that I've discussed an overview of what artificial intelligence is, I will now be discussing what climate change is and what problems are still left unsolved. Climate change can simply be defined as any negative impact of the Earth's climate, atmosphere, environment, or ecosystem. Some major problems we are currently facing are rising temperatures, intensified natural disasters, ocean level rising, and aggressive seasonal weather patterns. Now that I've given you a background of what artificial intelligence is and what problems of climate change we're currently facing, I'll now discuss how artificial intelligence can be used to combat climate change. Scientists see many opportunities to use artificial intelligence in the field of climate change. Three main use cases are for monitoring the environment, renewable energy consumption, and efficient transportation. Monitoring the environment gives scientists a better understanding of how we are doing and what problems are rising. This can be solved by developing better climate prediction, better tools to understand carbon footprint, and safer, more effective agricultural practices. Renewable energy is something that scientists are deeply invested in as it will help improve our environment and atmosphere. Ways artificial intelligence can improve this problem is by developing tools to improve energy efficiency, optimize renewable energy development, and reduce energy waste. And lastly, an area where artificial intelligence can be utilized is with the transportation and trade industry. Artificial intelligence can be used to optimize freight travel, but also rideshare, to make sure that we are using less resources for travel. To wrap up this discussion, I will now be talking about the state of AI today and what's currently at stake. So, where we are currently at with artificial intelligence, the use cases are growing immensely as data inputs continue to increase. In our world today, our data is being collected in almost every aspect of our daily lives. Although this sounds scary, artificial intelligence models thrive off of this input data, and ultimately, it allows AI models to mature with more accuracy. Because of this use case rising so immensely, international data corporations forecast spending on AI systems will reach $78 billion by 2022. Although there's many benefits to using artificial intelligence to help our daily lives and our ecosystem, there are many trade-offs and concerns that come along with the use of AI. Performance. There's an issue that may not be understood by humans, and thus it may be impossible to determine if they are accurate or desirable. Deep learning could be risky for applications such as early warning systems for natural disasters where more certainty is needed. Security. AI has the potential to be hacked, enabling bad actors to interfere with energy, transportation, early warning signs, or other crucial systems used throughout the world. Control risks. Since AI systems interact autonomously, they can produce unpredictable outcomes. For example, two systems may came up with a language of their own that humans could not understand. Economic risks. Companies that are so hard to adopt AI may suffer economic consequences as their AI based competition advances. We are already seeing how brick and mortar stores are closing and the economy becomes increasingly digitized. Social risks. AI is resulting in more automation, which will eliminate jobs in almost every field. This could also hasten and exaggerate global conflicts as AI warrants weapon systems that are automatically dispersed. Ethical risks. Since AI uses inferred assumptions about groups and communities and makes decisions, it can lead to increased bias. The collection of data also raises some privacy issues. Although there are many raised questions and issues about the potential risks of using artificial intelligence, it's more important that governments and industries ensure the safety, explainability, transparency, and validity of the particular AI application use. Thank you, and I will be now taking questions. You can send them to my email address, argonzales2@sdsu.edu. Thanks.